Tonight, let us travel back in time to a city that once shone like a lantern in the night of history. A city of learning, poetry, philosophy, and science. A city that rose from the banks of the Tigris River and became the beating heart of a golden age. This is Baghdad. It is the year 830. The sun is setting over Mesopotamia, and the sky glows with a warm, fading light. The Tigris flows quietly, its water catching the fire of the horizon. Across the river, domes and materials rise like shadows against the dusk. The city of Baghdad, perfectly round, encircled by mighty walls, its gates opening to every corner of the known world. Step closer, and the sounds might reach you. Merchants calling out prices in the bazaar. The creaks of carts carrying the books, carpets, and jars of spice. Children laughing, their voices weaving through the sheets. And from the courtyards and study halls, the quiet murmurs of scholars deep in thought. Baghdad was unlike any city before it. Founded by Caliph al-Mansur in the year 762, it was designed as a circle, a symbol of unity, of perfection. At its very center lay the Caliph's palace, the quote-unquote Golden Gate, and beside it, the Great Mosque. From this heart, 4 main roads stretched outward to the city gates, connecting Baghdad to the city beyond. One road led east to Khorasan, another west toward Syria, another south to Kufa, and yet finally another to Basra on the Gulf. This design was not only practical, but symbolic. Baghdad was to be the center of the universe, a meeting place of people, ideas, and cultures. Wander through its streets, and you might find a city alive with color. Markets overflowed with goods, silks from China, glass from Syria, incense from Arabia, gems from India. The air was heavy, the scent of cardamom, cinnamon, and freshly baked bread. There were neighborhoods filled with craftsmen, blacksmiths sharpening iron, weavers working the loom, calligraphers painting graceful lines of Arabic script. There were districts of scholars, where men copied manuscripts by hand, one careful letter at a time. And everywhere, there was a mingling of languages. Arabic, of course, but also Persian, Greek, Syriac, Hebrew, and even the ancient Sanskrit. For Baghdad was a crossroads, where east and west met, and knowledge from every corner of the world was gathered and shared in one place. As night fell, the city did not fall asleep. Courtyards glowed with lamplight and poetry that filled the air. The Abbasid caliphs themselves were patrons of art and literature. Poets recited verses that blended both love and mysticism, laughter and sorrow. Musicians played at the oud, a stringed instrument whose gentle notes echoed beneath the stars. In Baghdad, art was not only a luxury, it was a way of life. It was said that a poem could travel faster than a caravan, for once recited, it would be memorized and shared, passed from tongue to tongue. But perhaps the greatest jewel of Baghdad was the Bayat al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom. Imagine entering its halls. Shelves upon shelves of manuscripts. Scholars bent over parchment, their pens scratching in steady rhythm. The air filled with the scent of ink and the faint crackle of oil lamps. Here, texts from Greece, Persia, India, and beyond were translated into Arabic. Philosophical works of Plato and Aristotle, medical treatises of Galen, mathematics from India, astronomical charts from Persia. It was quite a nice place, where knowledge was not hidden, but rather it was cultivated. Where questions were asked boldly. What is the nature of the stars? How does the body heal itself? What is the proper relationship between reason and faith? From the spirit of inquiry came great advances. Al-Khwarizmi, a mathematician in Baghdad, wrote the book that gave us the word algebra. He laid the groundwork for algorithms, patterns of calculation that echo into our digital age. Astronomers mapped the heavens, refining the movement of planets and stars. Physicians studied the body, recording both illnesses and their remedies, building hospitals that treated the sick with both care and dignity. Chemists experimented with distillation, refining substances, and laying the foundations of modern science. Everywhere, however, the pursuit of knowledge was seen not only as a challenge to faith, but as a way to understand the universe that God had created. And alongside science grew philosophy. Thinkers like Al-Kindi, Al-Farabi, and later Avicenna wrestled with the great questions. What is the truth? How should one live a virtuous life? Is knowledge gained through reason or through revelation? They debated Aristotle and Plato. They sought to harmonize Greek philosophy with Islamic belief. Their writings would one day travel to Europe and beyond, where they would shape the course of both medieval and Renaissance thought. Baghdad's greatness was not only in its scholars, but rather in its people. Muslims, Christians, Jews, and even Zoroastrianists lived side by side. Each brought their own traditions, their own skills. Together, they built a city that was greater than the sum of its parts. It was a city of tolerance, not perfect, but remarkable for its time. Where a Jewish physician might treat a Muslim caliph, where a Christian scholar might translate Greek into Arabic, where culture was enriched by its diversity. Now, imagine yourself standing once more at the banks of the Tigris. The lamps are glowing, the city hums softly with life, and the boat glides along the water, its lanterns swaying gently. Baghdad was not eternal. Wars and invasions would be coming. In time, even the House of Wisdom would be lost. But however, for these centuries, it shone. A light of learning and inquiry. A city where poetry and philosophy, science and spirit lived side by side. And though its golden age has passed, the knowledge it nurtured still flows through our world, even today. So tonight, as we close our eyes, we remember Baghdad not as ruins on a map, but as it once was. A circle of light in the desert night. A city of wisdom. A city of dreams. And tomorrow night, another story from history.